I feel like this is fate too, that Blake released a song today as well.
I know, and I'm telling you, listen to me, that was not planned. Ask anyone, because he didn't even have that song.
No way.
He just got the song. He was like, oh my God, we're putting this out now. Like, I think he was just so excited too, because Post and him did the song that went to #1. It was just so unexpected and such a cool, like, mashup of two different genres. But I was so happy and jealous for him that he got to work with Post.
What's up, friends? It's your girl, Emily Curl, and today we're joined by the iconic Gwen Stefani at our iHeartRadio headquarters in New York City. Can we give it up for Gwen?
Did I clap for myself?
Absolutely.
Ooh, good job, you made a record.
We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
The last time I saw you was in Vegas, and it feels serendipitous because you had just released somebody else's.
Yep.
We discussed the single, we discussed the album, and now you're here on album release day.
That's
Bouquet.
so weird.
I know,
It went
isn't this crazy?
fast,
Back in New
didn't
York.
it? Yeah.
But in this conversation, I was so excited to hear this album. You said it was such a spiritual experience for you. You're working with this dream producer, Scott Hendricks.
Oh my gosh, he just texted me, by the way. He's like, because he texted me yesterday, he's like, happy release day. And I was like, and then he wrote me right, oh, dang. He's like, I thought it was yesterday. He's like, happy release day again. I'm
excited to celebrate.
I told him I was at the radio station right now.
Oh, and this album, I feel like we said, it's a personal album for you. What does it mean to have it out into the world, to be able to create this body of music?
It feels surreal. Like, I feel like I am in the future, and I had had so many conversations with myself about this record and like the journey of, it felt like I kept going back into my old storage and finding clothes and trying them on and being like, I want to I love that. Where was that shirt? And then you try it on, you're like, this isn't working anymore, is it? Like, you need to evolve to where you are. You need to be you can't chase yourself. You can't compete with yourself. You can't compete with the world, the modern world. Like, you just need to make this from the purest place and truth of yourself. I don't want to say it was for myself, but it was when you do something that you are supposed to be doing, and then when you do it, you feel like you served your purpose. I needed to do it for that. Yeah.
And I feel like we see so many themes of blossoming and growing and evolving. You have that through line of the Bouquet.
Yeah.
And does that sort of reflect where you were personally in your life too, alongside making this music?
I think for sure. I feel like I've used that in the past, even before this record, because I think if you look at nature and you think about the miracle of just a seed being planted, and sometimes you think about, how did that seed even get there, right? And then what it has to go through to actually come up through the earth and then blossom, and fade and then recover again, and maybe a new seed comes and there's a new life. That is so true to our lives, the metaphor, right? And I think especially for me, going through the trauma that I went through with my family breaking up back in the day, I was 2014, and it was that was just such a catastrophe. It was so, even now, when I say it out loud, I just got a ting in my tummy, because it was so bad. And it's still hard. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's I feel like picking the pieces up, it really made life go really fast, to zoom up to this point. But who knew that after that I was just gonna open the door, and then there would be my husband, and find this new love. And it was probably right after I got engaged is when I started writing this record. So this record is sort of talking about the past a little bit, but really talking about the last few years of my life after getting married. And
I feel like this is fate too, that Blake released a song today as well.
I know, and I'm telling you, listen to me, that was not planned. Ask anyone, because he didn't even have that song.
No way.
He just got the song, and he just cut it, and he was like, oh my God, we're putting this out now. I think he was just so excited too, because Post and him did the song that went to #1. It was just so unexpected and such a cool mashup of two different genres, but I was so happy and jealous for him that he got to work with Post. But yeah, isn't that cool?
That is cool.
We were
cool.
both looking at each other like, this is crazy.
This is crazy. I also love on the album too, like you make nods to your family and to your kids. Do they give you feedback on the record? Like, do they like love your music? Do they love
not
to
at
listen?
all? Like,
really?
not
No.
even pay attention to anything that I do at all, unless it serves them and they're like, oh, my friend, like this girl, when are you playing, Mom? Like, whatever, Yeah, like not even tickets, but just like to maybe, I don't know. Like, I think that they are very like selective when they want to like acknowledge whatever I do. You know what I mean? I think that with Blake, it's different though. I think that my beautiful middle boy Zuma is like just finding his like voice through music as well. And he kind of, I feel like he identifies country at this point. They talk a lot about music and go down, even Blake's songs, and it's really cool. It's really cool to watch because what it was like for us when we first discovered the songs that are like, they mirror who we are, and we're like, that's me, like when I first heard like The Cure, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's me, like me and Robert Smith or whatever it is. And it's like, I think it's just so cool to watch your kids do that because they're growing and they're evolving and they're becoming their person, and it's just beautiful.
And speaking of, I have to ask you about your new family member. How is Corn Shelton doing?
Oh.
Is he adjusting?
I can't wait to see him. He's actually living in Oklahoma. We came home from vacation. I'd taken Blake to Italy. And I had been warning him for like 9 years, you're going to Europe. He'd never been to Europe.
Wait, that was his first time?
Yeah.
What? So what did he think?
He was like, he likes to be in Oklahoma. That's his favorite, So it was good. But when we came home, that cat was sitting on our porch, and it was literally it was barely alive. It was this tiny, its bones were sticking out. And I was just like, no. Like, I'm done with anything that poops. Like, I'm done. Like, no more. And then we just like, we got him, nursed him back to life. And we had this old cat that lives on our porch, Dave, who's a girl, I think. But Dave was like not doing well. But when this kitten came, now Dave's doing good. So I wanted to bring him back to LA because we're mostly in LA, but so I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving because I'm going to get to see Corn. He's going to be like big.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to ask you, this kicks off the holiday season. What do you guys like to do for the holidays? Is there any fun special traditions that you have?
We love to do everything. I mean, like in Oklahoma, I feel like it's like the ideal like place, especially like fall, and this year we have everybody coming out, and my parents, and all of the families come to the ranch, and we just eat and eat and eat and cook and cook and cook and cook. And it's going to be just like beautiful weather, and there's just nature, and I don't know, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so looking forward to it.
Yes. One of the things that we have to ask you about is you kind of mentioned going down memory lane at the beginning of this album, but it's about to be the 20th anniversary of your debut. Oh my God, I didn't even see this. What?
Yeah, I was
How wild.
It's wild. I'm not a big anniversary, I don't know, person, but I guess it is important to acknowledge time a little bit. It's surreal. There's no way in my mind that time period was just probably the most creative, free, focused. I knew exactly what I wanted.
Why do you think that is? Because that's hard to pinpoint.
I think he just decides when he's gonna plant the seed of whatever I'm supposed to do next, and I just knew that I needed to make this dance record, and I knew exactly the style it needed to be. And I was so clear that I actually had this is so long ago that we didn't have the internet at that point, the way we do now for researching and stuff. So every magazine, piles of magazine tears. I had this style Bible that I'd created. Every person I would go to, I'd be like, this is what I'm doing. Let me show you. And and it was just such a fun, free time because it also, because being in the band all that time was very much me. And I wrote the songs, I wore what I want, I did the shows, whatever. But this was I could be girly in a way that I couldn't in the band somehow. I was indulging in fashion. I was I started Lamb, the fashion line. I started Harajuku Lovers, which was another fashion line. I did so much output of creativity during that time period. I got babies. I created babies with the help of the Lord. So much output. And so I just feel really proud of that time period. It was I toured so much. I did a tour around the world with Kingston after he was born, and I think we played like 120 shows. And the month that I got home from that tour, I got pregnant with Zuma.
Whoa.
So yeah, it was
such a special.
Yeah, it's just an amazing time in my life for sure.
And you mentioned like the fashion aspects. I've got to ask you, a lot of fans noticed that in somebody else's teaser video, you're wearing the same corset, the Vivienne Westwood corset.
Oh my God, I love that people are noticing that. That corset is a Vivienne Westwood. I didn't know when I bought it who really Vivienne Westwood was, because I was very sheltered in Orange County, and I was a little anti-fashion. I was really like, oh, those clothes are so expensive, you can't get that. Like, I just do my thrift store shopping and make my own clothes, and I was just very like, kind of like, I don't know, punky about it. But when we were gonna do the Spiderwebs video, I was like, I didn't have stylists. I didn't have people telling me what to wear, my makeup or anything. I just did it myself. I went up to Melrose, which is, I lived in Orange County, which is like a huge thing to go to the city or whatever. Right. And I was shopping on Melrose, and I walked in a store and I saw that it was like up at the top, they had all these corsets. I'd never seen that beautiful, like it was like from a movie. And I was like, I don't care what that costs, I'm getting it. And it was like $850. And I bought it for the Spiderwebs video. So I thought that, it would be cool in this song, being that this song does address the past, but it addresses it in a really positive way of how, even if you're, you go through trauma or you suffer, your body and your heart will heal. Right? And it's interesting because it's like through time and through the work that you do for yourself, like you will heal. And so that there's a lot of references to the seeds of hope and all of these things in this record. And I thought I have to wear that because it's sort of like, it has that flower on it. It's like, it's so representative of, because I feel like this record in so many ways is representative for me, like of the past, the present, and then like the seeds of hope for the future. And I think that's funny that you picked up on it. It's so fun.
And like you said, it's like you have this relic too that you and I love that you held on to it for so long.
Oh my gosh, I will not ever get rid of that thing. And it's still so beautiful, still fits.
Let's go.
But yeah, it's just like I was scared. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna get like makeup on it, and like, but she was just such a huge amazing designer. And like when I found out about her and what she really represented and what she had done, it was interesting to me that my own taste, like even without knowing,
had gravitated toward. Yes, like you knew what it represented.
Yeah, but I didn't know and then after that I was like, she's in one of my songs, like. So it's cool.
I also can't believe you didn't have a stylist at that time, because you became such a fashion icon for so many of us. That was just all you, like your own creative energy.
I didn't, but I feel like it was in my family. Like my grandma sewed, and my mom would sew with me when I was a kid, and so it was just always
a part of you.
Yeah, part of who I was.
Well, you mean so much to so many people.
Thank you.
This album does its 20th anniversary. This new album, we're so excited for you. And thank you so much for stopping by. Can we give it up one more time for Gwen Stefani in our studio? We love you, Gwen.
Very good audience.
Yay. Thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here, and don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. See you next time.